Okay, so this drawing is about a woman named Little Elk or White Elk, or her name could have even been Water Elk. And this is her right here. This is like an old clock. I think it means Father Time. And then this is a wooden keyboard or piano. So let's focus on Little Elk. Who is she and what happened to her? Well, she was a medicine woman and she lived to a very old age. So I do think she was Native American and she lived in a tribe and she was the medicine woman, okay? This reading is partly about ancestral trauma, and this was a very gifted medicine woman and she was revered. At some point, another tribe took over, or maybe it was white settlers or something. Some hostile group got to her and they wanted to kill her because she was very gifted and she was, could tell the future or was an oracle or whatever. They hated that. They didn't want her telling the truth or using her gifts. So they tried to kill her and they beat her severely on multiple occasions and they did try to kill her, like I said. However, she survived. This was pretty disturbing for me to draw all of this, to see her or feel that or even have that concept, because I don't usually get things like that. So actually my dad was with me quite a bit during this reading or this drawing. So basically she was left for dead. They thought she was dying, but instead it wasn't death. It was a severe blow to the brain right here. After that, she was brain damaged, and that is when mental health issues manifested in her family lineage. This was a huge blow to her family as well and the tribe. Now she could no longer be called a wise old woman or a medicine woman because she was crazy. So her legacy was completely ruined because she was insane at this point after the attempted murder. This has a lot to do with mental health issues. So why did I get this drawing? Like, why did it come to me, right? Because sometimes, well, actually quite frequently, the medium has to have some sort of connection or something in her database or his database for this information to come through. Well, there is mental health issues in my family. My dad, he died in 2014 of early onset Alzheimer's. He was with me quite a bit during this drawing, and I think he was with me quite a bit during this drawing because it was a very disturbing drawing, and he knew that it would be hard for me to get through this content, that it did relate to me and my dad's family. So what are the mental health issues in my family? And I'm just showing you guys this for an illustration, and then also there are other families that are like mine. Mine's not unique. On my dad's side, there is depression and there's also bipolar. So of course, it's bipolar depression because it's mania and then it's depression. So my grandpa was institutionalized for bipolar depression, and then, as I already stated, my dad died of early onset Alzheimer's. And we have a pretty good idea of what is going on with mental health issues on my dad's side. If somebody's ill, we openly talk about it, which is great. I hope all families can do that. I had postpartum depression. I mean, I don't have it anymore, but I did have that when my daughter was born. So on my mom's side, the women in the family had some sort of issue like schizophrenia, and it seemed to go through only the women. What I think was going on is that the women were quite sensitive, but then because they were abused, they just went off the deep end and they, it was mental illness from there. That abuse in that part of the family was very covered up and just completely cloaked in shame. So nobody really knows. Nobody knows what happened to these women. But it ended up going like through the women of the family, just badly mistreating each other because there was this genetic heritage of like hatred towards the women or something. I'm not really sure, because like I said, nobody talks about it. So why is this important? Why is it important to talk about mental illness in the family? It's because it does really affect a lot of individuals, and it is important to know where you came from. It's important to know that your ancestors love you, even if they're flawed. Because even the people that beat Little Elk here, you know, they had their own progeny too. So let's talk about the imagery a little bit here. So we have this piano, and then we have this clock. So because my dad was so present, I figured that this meant like the father time. This is a seashell. I'm not really sure. The time here is 3:15. I think it has to do with changing your tune. How do you change your tune over time? How do you help heal your ancestors? How do you allow your ancestors to help you? Like, when is the right timing in your life for something like this to happen? And so I know this isn't like a fixed answer, but this is just something for people to think about when it comes to understanding where they come from. And I think that maybe what Little Elk was trying to say, you know, like, now is the time to figure out your ancestry and your lineage, and if there was anything for you to heal in the same way that your ancestors love you, you can love them back. If you know Little Elk or water elk or white elk, then this is a drawing for you. Even though my dad came in the drawing a lot, I don't think that she was particularly in my line. I think he only came in because the content was so disturbing. And I also want to let you know that I am giving readings this weekend at Serenity Rocks from 10:30 to 3:30. I do get ancestral information sometimes during the reading. Even sometimes when people are adopted, I'll get some information that is helpful somehow. Just kind of like this, like showing what happened to Little Elk and how it affects people currently in the lineage. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please reach out if this belongs to you, and I'll be back with another drawing before you know it. Bye.